out there. Welcome to PCG TV Sports Time with Jerome. My name is Jerome Ochri. It's been very interesting season looking at football in Ghana, particularly the knockout competition, what we call the FA Cup, sponsored by MTN, and so we call it the MTN FA Cup. Very interesting competition we've had all season. Now the final is here. God willing, tomorrow at the University of Ghana Sports Stadium will be Asante Kotoko versus Golden Kicks FC. These are the teams that have made it to the final, and some are wondering, would the episode of 2011, when Asante Kotoko got to the final, only to be beaten by a Division 1 team, Nanya FC, going to be witnessed? Or Kotoko have reflected well enough on that incident 14 years ago and are prepared to ensure that it doesn't happen? This is what we're going to look at when we come back from this break. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back. So as I was telling you, it is the MTN FA Cup final tomorrow. And here in the studio, we're going to look at whether or not Kotoko has what it takes to win the competition, or the Division 1 side Golden Kicks are going to be champions. But before we go into the conversation, the scripture for the day is from Psalm 107 verses 19, where it is written, "Lord, help, they cried in their trouble, and he saved them from their distress." We serve a living God who is always at hand to deliver us from our troubles. And tomorrow, God willing, we will see which of the two sides will be delivered from defeat. We'll go for a short break. When we come back, the show will continue. Welcome back. So as I was telling you, it is the MTN FA Cup final tomorrow, Asante Kotoko versus Golden Kick FC. And with me to look at the final is someone who was here when the semi-final matches were played, the two semi-final matches, Bekum Chelsea, Asante Kotoko, and Golden Kick FC and Atram Divisa. Coach Ebenezer Sifa is the man I'm talking about. He predicted correctly in the semi-final matches, and we have brought him again to see whether he can predict correctly for us concerning the final. Coach, welcome.
Thank you, Jerome.
So let's just look at the semi-final matches, let's look at the whole FA Cup as a competition this season before we look at the semi-final matches. Then we'll go to the final matches itself. What would you say has been the lows and highs for the competition this season? Or generally speaking, how have you seen the competition this season?
Well, I think that there's been an improvement over the last competition.
Okay.
And I think that the organizers have done very well, led by our own
Wilson.
Yeah. And in the last time Kotoko won the trophy was in Tamale against Accra House of Folk.
Yeah.
And then of course the team also won it against Okoro United at Cape Coast.
Yeah.
And Kingfisher played Dreams FC. Dreams won, and then Swatreman also won against BA Ebofokwa at Lagos Sports Stadium the last time. So for me, this time has been very good. Clubs participated, and big teams were shocked by the Division 1 teams. I mean, the smaller teams. I mean, we talk about the BD Gold Stars at that point was leading the Ghana Premier League. Were shocked. Mediama was eliminated by Park Academy Division 1 side.
Yeah.
House of Folk were eliminated by eventually a finalist in the competition, that is Golden Kick. And you can talk of Samates was also eliminated by a Premiership side, and that is Bebieni Gold Star. So it was a competition where I think that teams have done very well. But on the whole, I think that the semi-finals that was played, both teams, that games were played in TNA, Takwa and Aboso, was just an excellent. The new stadium, the pitch was very good, the atmosphere, the ambience, everything was fantastic for the two semi-finals between Atram Divisa and of course Golden Kick, Kumasi Asante Kotoko and then Bekum Chelsea. So for me, the factors of the managers, you talk of Karim Zito, that who has won it once. Samuel Bodu has won it twice with Mediama and then Hasufuk. And of course, the new ones, Atram Divisa. Atram wanted to make an impact. And of course, Golden Kick is also making history for themselves. So for me, I think that this season has been very good.
Okay. Now, talking about the semi-finals, you were here when we spoke about the two games. And I remember, if I don't remember anything at all, I mean, it's been a couple of weeks ago, but if I don't remember anything at all, I remember two things. That the first semi-final, which was Atran Divisa versus Golden Kick, was going to be decided within 90 minutes.
Yes.
I remember that very well.
Yes.
And we said that because Golden Kick have more or less won their games, I mean, some of their games in 90 minutes, contrary to Atram Divisa, who have won all their games.
No, I think 3 games in penalties,
3
and then
games,
one
yeah.
at 90 minutes.
Then it was looking more like Golden Kick will be victorious. And then with Kotoko, we also predicted that it's going to be a close game. And given how Kotoko have always fared against Brekum Chelsea, they might be winners. That's exactly what happened. What did you see that maybe some other people didn't see?
I monitored both the teams. Let them put it that way. Golden Kicker, when you come to Zone 3 in Division 1, they are the exciting team that you can find in the Division 1 league, not the league. They play so beautiful. And for me, they are the team to watch. And I remember I told you that, look, if you want beautiful football, don't miss that game. Golden Kick and then Atram Division. And anybody that watched that game will tell you that, look, just both teams gave us an excellent game. And I spoke about Richmond Apokum, the midfielder of Atram Divisa, and of course, Da Costa also, that player with the 10 shirt for Golden Kick. He's their playmaker. And I told you about how some clubs are even after him. So the game itself, I think that Golden Kick has played 4 games before this game, 2 within the 90 minutes and then 2 on penalties. Atram has played 4 games, 1 within 90 minutes and then 3 on penalties. So looking at their performance, obviously you give it to Golden Kick because they dominate. They have playmakers in the team and the way they build their team, unlike Atram Divisa, who always rely on penalty shooters because he has got a very good goalkeeper when it comes to penalty shooters. But on the game itself, I think that Golden Kick took the game to Atram, dominated them, created the chances. And for me, Atram were lucky not to have considered even 4 goals in the first half. They dominated them. Atram came into the game in the last 10 minutes of the game. It was too late for them. And I think that you give credit to Golden Kick. Anybody that watched that game would love to watch the game and again. I mean, Roland Gripman, he is a twin brother to Nations centre back Oko Gripman. Both of them were playing for Accra Great Olympics. You know, they have Zakaria Mumuni, who used to play for Wafa. He played for Adriana, the Chan team, and he went to Congo and came back to Adriana. And now he's playing for Golden Kick. Just unfortunate that due to injury, he couldn't play in the semi-final game. So they have some kind of quality within them compared to Atram Divisa time. So for me, I think that Golden Kick were just too much or too good for Atram Divisa in that game.
And then the Kotoko game too.
Yeah, I told you about how Kotoko has been playing against Brekum Chelsea. Yes, it has always been a tight, especially when Samuel Bodu took over as the head coach of Brekum Chelsea. He normally relies on Stephen Amankuna. Ever since Amankuna left Kotoko to Brekum Chelsea, and when he comes in counter with Kotoko, he struggles. And for me, I was surprised Samuel Bodu kept him in that game throughout the 90 minutes because Justice Blay was given a specific instructions to handle Stephen Amankuna, and which he did. And of course, their number 2 player, who I think is also very good on the day, Jonah Atukwe, who was from Brekum Chelsea to Lagos City, went out and came back to fantastic player, but he got injured very early in the game. So it came to Hubert Jew, one of the young midfielders in the Brekum Chelsea setup, but he has to battle the likes of Baba Yaya and of course in Team Menu in midfield, which was a tough one. Kotoko had a lot of opportunities. Kwame Poku, and of course you can talk of eventual winner for Kotoko, Albert Amwa. They were wasteful that fun. But for me, I think that Kotoko did what they did to Brekum Chelsea in the league in Kumasi, that lone goal that was scored by Andre Ajeti, the right back. But I think this time, Kamara, the goalkeeper for Kotoko, for the first time, for me, proved why Kotoko went for him. That was his best game that he had. Chelsea had chances, but he was able to stood between those chances and then making sure that the ball goes beyond him. And of course, Brekum Chelsea did very well. Their captains, Zakaria Fuseni, and then of course, Muhammad, one of the centre backs, though they failed to clear their lines when Baba Yaya sent in an in-swinger for
Mm.
Albert Amon to nod him. They fought back, but it was just a close. No wonder Samobodu said Kotoko took its chances, but they failed to take their chances.
Well, that was an honest admission. What I didn't like about Bodu's interview was something he said that Kotoko did nothing extraordinary. That's not true.
No, but if Kotoko did nothing extraordinary, you did something better, something extraordinary. Well, how many goals did you score?
Yeah, that's why I completely disagree with him on that score. I mean,
And there's one thing I think that somebody needs to look at it.
Mhm.
The way he attacks match officials
Yeah.
anytime
Yeah.
after the game, or even
Yeah.
during the game, sometimes you should understand that his actions and inactions on the touchline gets into his players.
It does. It does.
Psychologically, if the players are not mentally tough,
Yeah.
whatever you've asked
Yes.
them to go and do the pitch, they will be doing the opposite one. So
I-
for me, he's my friend.
Yeah.
And I'll use this opportunity and this platform to advise him that look,
Yeah.
you have to desist from that.
Yeah.
If you have any issues concerning match officials, at the end of the day,
Mm.
the referee is not going to change his decision. The
He
game
will
is
not
over.
change. Yeah.
And it is something that he needs to
Yeah.
look at.
I agree with you on that. I mean, I have said myself that Bodu must mature. Some of these things are not necessary. I mean, you can express yourself, but not to the point of seeking to attack or it's those things are past. Anyway, we'll go for another break. When we come back, the show continues. Welcome back. So, as I was telling you from the beginning of this show, I'm excited talking about this game because I was a witness to the Nanya FC Kotoko FA Cup final in 2011. Look, that day, I mean, Kotoko had done very well that season. And a lot of us thought that Nanya will be not necessarily push over, like Kotoko are going to walk over them, but at the end of the day, we expected Kotoko to win.
Yeah.
To our surprise, and I'm saying our because I was part of the team then. I was one of the senior reporters then on the Kotoko Express, and that evening they spoiled our party because we left the stadium very disappointed. I mean,
Jerome, you see,
and coach, coming to you, that was, I think it was the second year of Dr. Keke Sapon,
yeah,
2011.
Yeah.
He had come in 2010, 2011 FA Cup final. We thought, we could win a silverware for the work we had
I was
done.
surprised at that time. Kotoko were thinking that Nanya FC were just a mere Division 1 side.
So then let me ask my question. Do you think Kotoko should learn something from that experience?
They should.
Going into this game with Golden Kicks, who are also a Division 1 side.
They should. The history is there for them to look at. And at that time, Nanya has gone all the way to Kumasi to beat Brekum Chelsea under Treme. And look at the
Okay.
squad of Brekum
At that
Chelsea.
time,
Solomon
yes.
Asante, Obedo Usu, Maxwell Ajeman, Emmanuel Cloté, Edward Kodo, and Nesua.
The best Brekum Chelsea team
Fantastic.
they have ever
solid.
had. Yeah.
Jao Alexander and the Rex. Nanya was able to defeat them. So Kotoko should have looked at
The
the
quality
quality
that
before
Nanya
even
overcame.
thinking of they were just going
Yeah.
to run over Nanya. And at that point, Prince Bafo, who eventually came to play for Kotoko,
Kotoko,
was
yeah.
one of the key players in midfield for
Yeah.
Nanya. And
Oh,
of
yeah.
course, their captain, Lawrence Lati, who eventually went to play for Gold Coast. Ash Gold, let me put it that way. So, Abedipele on the touchline, he believed that, look,
Yeah. The
when
maestro
the boys
himself.
should look at me and then do
Yeah.
the job.
The maestro
And
himself.
for me, I think they outplayed Kotoko. And it was an FA Cup. And that game, I was at the stadium, and I think that Nanya deserved because they played better.
Yeah.
But I think Kotoko should learn something out of it because Golden Kick have started talking after winning their game. They didn't care whether Kotoko or Become Chelsea that will be facing in the finals. They believe that since they've gotten to the finals with the kind of game that they've exhibited, they are going to win the cup. But it is a caution to them too that look, Kotoko is huge.
Yeah.
Kotoko is big. Comparatively, if you ask me which of the two teams that will be able to represent, of course, I'll mention Kotoko, I'll mention Golden Kick. But for them, it is history. The coach will enrich his CV. The players will be happy. Probably clubs will be looking for them. But for Kotoko, it will be a disappointment to their fans that look, second time Division 1 side has defeated Kotoko at the final. And
Yeah.
unfortunately for Kotoko, the team is also based in Mamprobi, where most of the fans are Hazofuk supporters,
Yeah.
and the game is happening at where Hazofuk fans will be trooping
Yeah.
there. So
Yeah.
obviously, Kotoko have to have a mental toughness. Karim Zito has won the trophy before. He knows what it takes to probably play such games because teams that are battling relegation, he goes in to revive them. Dreams FC, Inter Allies, he's on record. But they have 1 month that they have prepared before coming to this finals. So probably injuries have set in. Teams, some of them have deep in form, but let's see how they goes into this game. But for me, I think that on paper, Kotoko stands as favorite. But this is an FA Cup whereby there's not going to be a return game.
The tagline for the FA Cup is Obianyo Bia. And anytime I hear the song, it's one of the nicest football songs I have come across. MTN FA Cup, Obianyo Bia. Obianyo Bia because no matter your size, and that's what Kotoko must learn from. No matter your size, you can be beaten by a smaller size. If you are small, you can be beaten by a bigger size. If you are also, how do you call it, a smaller size, a bigger side can actually trash you. And that's what Kotoko fans are thinking. Only that caution must be exercised. But coach, do you think you mentioned the fact that Zito has won the competition before with Dreams FC? And I think it will be one of Zito's excellent moments, I mean, in his career.
Yeah.
Winning the FA Cup with Dreams FC. And I personally didn't think they would go beyond their best to be league stage.
Yeah.
But he took the team to the semi-final of the Confederations Cup.
Yeah, cool. So, Zito has worked with Dreams FC, that team that he took to the semi-final for over 4 or 5 years.
Okay.
The captain for the side at that time, Jalilu, has played for 5 years.
Okay.
Even John Entry, he was under Zito before he went to Egypt and came back. So you clearly see that, look, consistency, they had it.
So my question is, with the fact that Zito is an FA Cup champion just about 2 seasons ago, play any role in making sure he wins this competition for Kotoko?
Yes, it will be good for Zito because he took over Kotoko when Kotoko were having issues in terms of winning matches. 7 matches to win the Ghana Premier League.
Just about a month ago.
And we can see the results that since he took over, he has been able to put the team through. So, of course, for Zito himself as a person, it will enrich his CV. It will be good for him, and he will be bold enough to say it anywhere that, look, I took Kotoko when they were struggling and I was able to win the FA Cup and even the league, looking at the position now.
Yeah.
So for me, I think that it is something that they shouldn't take it lightly. They still have to go back and then rearrange themselves and see whether this very finals they'll be able to take through. Because if they don't, it will be a disappointment for Kumasi Asante Kotoko.
Of course, it will be a big disappointment. We'll go for a short break. When we come back, I will ask coach. He should put himself in the technical affairs of the two sides and tell me what should Kotoko do, what should Golden Kicks also do if they are to win. It's only one team that is going to win, but then he should analyze it from that perspective and we'll see. We'll go back. Indeed, we'll go for a break. When we come back, the show continues. Welcome back on the last leg of the show, talking about Asante Kotoko versus Golden Kicks FC in the MTN FA Cup final coming up at the University of Ghana Stadium tomorrow, June 15th, 2025. Coach, if you were to be in the shoes of Zito, I know you are not, but tell me, what should Asante Kotoko do? Maybe not just the coach, but from the fans' perspective, from the technical bench to the players. What should Kotoko do if they are to win this game?
They shouldn't underestimate Golden Kick. They should see them as a premiership side.
Okay.
They should see them as a champion that they are going to play. And at the end of the day, they should make sure that their tactics work right. And in this case, yes, I don't believe in tactics in the FA Cup. But this is a team that we are going to play whereby...
Why do you say that?
I say that because it's just one of a game. When I'm able to score a goal and I block my back, then I'm through.
But isn't that a kind of tactics?
Yes, it is. But how are you going to define it?
Okay.
At the end of the day, I'm able to put the ball at the back of the net. I have as many as 10 players behind the ball. I'm just ballooning the ball anyhow. I'm trying to make sure that your players will not get the pocket of spaces. I'm not going to leave stone on 10, 50-50. I'll make sure I'll take it. If there's opportunity for me to do a counter, I will do. So that is why I normally say such things. But I believe that the Golden Kick play with flair. They build up from the back. They have very good midfielders that can run. So it is whereby Kotoko needs to read their game very well.
So your point is that Kotoko should not underestimate.
Not at all. Okay. Not at all. And of course, for Golden Kick, if I were the coach, I'll just tell my boys that, look, you are the same as the Kotoko players. Go in there. You are even better than the Kotoko players. You've shown it and everybody has seen. That is why you are in the finals. Go and make sure that you beat Kotoko. And at the end of the day, you'll be called off than even the Kotoko players.
Yeah, but I mean, the argument has been that Golden Cakes FC will not go to Africa. They don't have the capacity.
Yeah, and I said it earlier on that look, it's not about they going to Africa. It's about they making name for themselves.
Okay.
My GFA Cup,
Yeah.
with Golden Cake, my team, yeah,
Asante Kotoko.
So if a club is coming for me, I scored the only goal in the FA Cup finals against Kumasi Asante Kotoko. I'll be proud of it. I'll be telling people that support me that look, I was the one who destroyed Kotoko. It's not about going to Africa.
Yeah.
It depends.
Yeah.
So for them, it's not about going to Africa, but I'm sure their management will tell the players we will definitely represent in Africa, just to let them be more focused and then more clear of their mind that look, we are winning against Kotoko and going to Africa. But I believe that Kotoko have an edge over them.
In actual fact, the competition has been so thrilling, having all teams play from the round of 64 stage. In fact, there were even prelims before we got to that stage. And having come that far shows that Golden Cakes really have been here on merit, or they are here on merit. But let's look at the nature of the competition and how some of the matches have gone on penalties on, and teams have won on penalties, including Golden Cakes themselves. Asante Kotoko have not won all their games within 90 minutes. Do you think this is a game that might travel beyond 90 minutes?
I don't think so.
You think a winner will be produced within 90 minutes?
Yes, a winner will be produced.
What is it that makes you think so?
Because I believe that both teams can take their chances.
Okay.
And we are going to see chances in this game.
Okay.
And of course, Kotoko is going to use his experience probably to push Golden Cake to make mistakes. And of course, if Kotoko panic, I'm talking about their fans. You know, when teams are playing Kotoko and they try to dominate Kotoko, the fans go silent. They go quiet. So they put some kind of pressure on the team. So it's Kotoko supporters and the team that are going to play Golden Cake, not only the playing body. Because at the end of the day, it's a big stage. I listened to Albert Amwa. He said he has never won a trophy before. He has never been to Africa. He has never done this. And he wants to do this for himself.
Big motivation.
So he has motivated himself before even the final game. And the Golden Cake captain has also said that, look, that is Roland Gripman. He said that, look, since they've got into the finals, they are going to beat Kotoko.
Yeah, you know, when you mentioned the issue of, the point about Albert Amwa, the fact that he's not won a trophy before, he's not gone to Africa before, he wants to experience it. I was thinking, if Albert Amwa is thinking that way, then obviously the Golden Cake players are also going to think the same way, because they have also not...
And that's what I'm saying. If I'm the manager or the coach for the Golden Cake, that's what I'm going to tell my players. But it's about motivation, and for them, their motivation is to beat Kotoko.
Yeah. And if they lose against Kotoko,
there's no news.
It will be no news.
It's
but
no news.
Should it be that they win against Kotoko?
Big news.
It will be a big story.
And every media station is going to discuss that the next day.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a difficult game, but I'm calling for fair officiating in this particular game.
Okay.
That is what I'll call for.
Okay. Before maybe we dwell on officiating, let me take your mind on this. You know, Kotoko have gone through a lot this season. There's been chop and change. Coach Ogun was, dismissed. Zito came in. Before that incident, Kotoko were at Instructorman, and there was one sad event, a tragedy that resulted in the death of one of their fans. Do you think that winning this trophy, in particular the FA Cup, would kind of assuage or make up for some of the bitter moments the team experienced this season?
I said it somewhere this morning that, look, let's be fair with the Kotoko team. The players, they've done very well. When you look at Bekum Chelsea, Samabodu second season, only 2 players left. The consistency is there. Bashir for second season with Heart of Lions, he had added up from 1 or 2 players, and they are playing. You go to Webiani Gold Stars. Performance took over from the late Michael Oseme, so rest in peace. The squad is there. But Kotoko, the first one of the league, we're having about 16 players. From the 3 goalkeepers and the 2 Sudanese guys who eventually ran away when they went to the States. So Kotoko had these boys, most of these players, in the second round of the league. So in terms of cohesion, team bond and all that, it should be somewhere next season. But if they are able to get to the FA Cup finals and they are able to win, of course, I'm sure wherever the soul of Poli, the unfortunate supporter who died at Swatre, will probably rest in peace. And I'm sure the Kotoko players themselves know that, look, they need to go out there and make sure that they win the trophy. And probably when they visit Otunfo, they will just tell Otunfo that we did it for you, and of course to our late brother
What
Polly.
Yeah, what kind of statement would this be for Zito if he's able to win?
He's a Kotoko legend. He's a Kotoko man. He's on various Kotoko platforms. When he speaks, you know that Zito is Kotoko. Kotoko is Zito. Of course, he's happy to be back to Kumasi Asante Kotoko. Of course, I'm saying he's going to adapt to see it happen. It's someone who has won twice. If Zito should win, he's also going to make it two. And for his first time taking a team to Africa, he was in the semi-finals, and that's the same competition that probably he'll be going. And looking at the Kotoko players in terms of maturity, they were better than Dreams FC, but he was able to guide Dreams FC to best player, goal king, the best goalkeeper. So probably this is going to motivate him to probably do some add-ups and probably going into Africa with Kumasi Asante Kotoko. The numbers are there when they are playing at the Baba Sports Stadium. So for Zito, he will be glad to achieve that.
This is solid. I mean, it's not a point I was considering, but I mean, the question had to be asked that what would an FA Cup win do for Zito? And coach has said, big statement. He guided Dreams in the same competition to the finals and won it, and went to Africa and got to the semi-final. And if he could do that with Dreams, a relatively smaller club, who knows? Maybe Kotoko will give him a bigger platform and he could do better than he did with Dreams. This is where we'll draw the curtains on the show. It's been very exciting talking to Coach Ebenezer Sefa on the MTN FA Cup final between Asante Kotoko and Golden Kicks FC at the University of Ghana Sports Stadium tomorrow. Who is going to win? Well, I need to be fair. I need to be non-partial, so I will not say. But if you have time, join the team, the fans, everybody at the University of Ghana Stadium to witness the MTN FA Cup final. It's going to be exciting, we can all tell. Kotoko have the fan base to throw their weight behind this match. Golden Kicks, as coach said, are based at Mamprobi, and Mamprobi has a good number of football fans, not just the Hearts fans who will come and rally behind Golden Kicks and maybe get them to win over Kotoko. Let's all go there and see for ourselves who the champion will be. Coach, thank you very much for being part of the show. Thank you very much for coming. Like I said, we draw the curtains on the show here. Hopefully, next week there will be another conversation on Ghana Sports, on PCG TV Sports, where we say, in thy light, there is light. Goodbye.
PCG TV. In that light, there is light.